Just excited for this opportunity. All off season, right? You put in the work to put yourself in position to battle for the division, battle against big teams and big moments. And this is a big one. But for our guys, just an opportunity for our coaches to bring them back down to our process, even when the games there's more at stake towards the end of the season. Just making sure that the bigger the game, the narrower the focus, and you just focus on the same details that we've been harping all along. It's funny. As the season goes, the consistency you show as a coach and your approach and the things that you're focusing on, I think the players really buy into that, and they really and it helps propel them into big games towards the end of the season. So really excited to capitalize on all that.
All right, we'll kick things off with Jeff Hawkins, followed by David Newton.
Hey, good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning, Jeff. Good.
Hey, with the decision coming on the fifth year for Bryce, how big of a three-game stretch is this for him, and what kind of rivalry friendly rivalry is he developing with Mayfield?
For Bryce, I think he does a great job of just staying focused on the here and now and what he needs to do to help this team win on a weekly basis, and the rest will truly take care of itself. He comes in every Monday with a great sense to evaluate what happened in the previous game, whether it was good or bad, and then we check back in on Tuesday and on the players' day off, and we go over the game plan, and then once he hits Wednesday, he's all in on the game plan and starting that dialogue, and it's an important three-game stretch for all of us, for all of us, to continue to grow and find our best, and Bryce is certainly included in that.
And how about his rivalry with Mayfield?
With Baker, I can't speak to their personal, if there's a personal rivalry there, but for us, it's just a division opponent. I think we all feel the importance of going and playing well against a division opponent, and we know that if you take care of your division, the rest kind of takes care of itself. And Bryce does a great job of staying team-oriented with that and with our goals and making sure it's not personal on any level to him other than the guys that he's fighting for in our room.
Hey, thanks. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
Hey, Brad, you mentioned consistency at the beginning, and it seems the one thing that the team hasn't been as consistent with every other win, and offense plays well one week and not great the next week, or what's got to happen for that to come about?
Yeah, it's just it's truly buying into the approach. I think Dave said it earlier in the week. They've done a great job of responding to adversity, but handling success is equally as important to get you where you want to go. So bringing them back into the process of the week, no matter what happens the week prior, it's just everything. It's being able to grow from the losses and then learn from the wins of what you did well, and then keeping your mentality intact throughout the week. So we're continuing to press into that every single week to make sure that we can, we had a couple streaks there where you string some good games together, and we need to make sure we do that down the stretch.
And on Baker, did you get a feeling for how hard the 2022 season was on him at Carolina, and the experience you had with him, especially when they came up to play in Carolina?
No, I was coaching the receivers, so that was where my focus was, and to be honest, just so this week, just focus so much on what we're trying to get accomplished with our team, and I'm sure he's doing the same on his end.
He's surprised me. He's 4-0 against the Panthers, and since he left, just the fact that the division title for you guys could go through Baker.
Yeah, they've done a great job. Obviously, a couple years in a row of taking care of the division, and that just heightens our awareness of divisional games, no matter when they occur. If you take care of business there, you're going to be just fine, and you're going to get a chance to play at the end of the season.
And one last question on T-Mac. 5 catches in the last 3 games. He's been a big part of this offense. What's I know the ankle injury said flared up a little bit. What's got to happen for him to get more involved?
Yeah, we just got to continue to put him in the best spots to execute, and then when those moments come up when the look is right, we got to cash in. So there's a couple of those ops that were just near misses, but at the same time, as coaches, we put an onus on, okay, what are the best looks to get this guy involved, to get our best players, whether it's T-Mac, our running backs, really Jalen, all those guys, all of our playmakers on the offense, like what are the best chances to get them the ball early, to get them in a rhythm, and then as the game progresses, continuing to find those opportunities. We got to continue to do that as a coaching staff, and then that dialogue's got to happen during the game as things start to change a little bit.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mike Kay, followed by Joe Person.
Good morning, Brad. How's it going?
Morning, Mike. Good, man.
With Jalen Coker, we've seen he needed kind of a rev up period, kind of get back into the swing of things, just like Chuba. But I'm just curious, with him kind of turning the corner, how much more does that open up the playbook for you guys from a passing standpoint with the way he has been performing?
Yeah, he's just the model of consistency right now. He's just doing a great job of, versus zone, versus man, after the catch, someone you can rely on. So for us, it's just another puzzle piece where you can put him in different spots, and he knows what to do. And that comes with really a lot of investment in his first year. I think he'd be the first to admit, and as a rookie, like he struggled to, early on to grasp the full playbook. And anytime you're thinking as a receiver, you're not playing fast. Well, that's just not the case anymore. It wasn't the case toward the latter half of last year, going into the offseason and this year. So once he got his legs back and he overcame, kind of the hiccup of his injury, you just saw the same guy who's now confident and attacking everything he does. And we get to place him, and that's fun. And that definitely helps the rest of the crew when, the defense starts to lean his way because he's making plays. It opens it up for the rest of the guys.
From that standpoint, where do you think he has grown the most from year one to year two?
Honestly, like it's being able to bypass what's the motion, what's the formation, what's my split and why. So we can get to how. It's the what and the why. Hey, we're calling this formation, we're calling this play. He's no longer thinking about that stuff. He's now, okay, let me look across the line of scrimmage and see how I'm going to accomplish this route, how I'm going to get open, what the defense is presenting to me. You want to get all your guys to that level as fast as you can. So, words are so important. I preach it to our staff all the time. I don't like to just throw a word to name a play or a concept because we want that to carry weight with them where they're not thinking about it when it's called. They're immediately moving on to how am I going to accomplish what the coaches are asking me to do.
And then my last question, last week, Dave said that he couldn't do this without you from an offensive play calling standpoint, from like the in-game stuff. I'm just curious, how do you think you've evolved as his number two on offense this year?
Yeah, I think it's just every week is a learning process of learning your guys and how to best position them. The game flows. We study a ton of other coordinators or successful offenses week to week to see what is the game flow of attack early on and as the game progresses. So me coming from a position room and focusing on getting a guy ready to play or getting a position group ready to play into this year two of this role and how the flow of the game needs to present and leaning on your position coaches to have the guys ready. That's been the biggest area of growth, and the dialogue that Dave and I have throughout the week carries over into the game, and we're able to kind of adjust as it goes. And then also, like we talk about the players coming in on Monday and learning from some of the misses, and then trying to recapture some of the good moments. Those are things that we do as well, and that dialogue has not only helped him grow as a play caller, but for me, just continuing to stack, okay, how does this full thing need to feel and look as we go into the next game?
Hey, Brad, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, you usually have some good anecdotes from places you've been. Baker's an intense dude. We saw it here the season he was here. You have any illustrative stories about his intensity?
Yeah, we all know he's a great competitor. We played in San Francisco in the middle of the season a couple of years back, and we had this around where we told him to get out of the way, don't block anyone. We knew he was going to want to. So we give Trey Palmer this around that goes back to the field. There's a lot of space out in the field, so Baker didn't listen. He captured Nick Bosa and just captured the edge and allowed the receiver to get out and around. And then I couldn't help it, but I'm on the sideline flexing, and he's looking over me flexing. It's just the intensity that you're kind of tongue-in-cheek saying, hey, we'd love to protect you and get you out of harm's way, but he's a competitor. And you see a lot of that in the guys we have in our building here, and that's so much fun to capture that. Think about Chuba's, a couple of those game-winning runs where you have the whole sideline meeting them in the end zone. Just the expression of toughness and grit that our guys have in this building. Any chance we get to capture and hold on to that and show the guys that, hey, we're going to celebrate that grit and that personality. We love doing that, and that's showed up so many times. You think of Rob Hunt, right? Rob Hunt's hurt right now, but how exciting is it to watch a big play happen and you're going to try to find 50 on the field, high step in or bringing his teammates along. So we felt that with Baker in Tampa, and then we also feel it here with the guys we have. I love the guys here and their energy that they got.
Did Baker get a plus or a minus on that play?
I gave him a plus as a receivers coach. I'm sure the quarterback coach gave him a minus.
Hey, Brad, one more thing. When Dave was hired, it might have even been his opening press conference, he talked about having had experience calling plays for a quarterback that maybe wasn't the biggest guy and how that could translate here. What concept specific to that would you say you guys are running that you ran with Baker as well?
There's a good, healthy balance of protecting it up, right, and getting every blitz look properly protected when you're trying to put the ball down the field. And then there's get the guys out, space it out, pull a guard. You see Bryce last week had a couple of huge scrambles and big time plays on 3rd down and 4th down. One of those was empty where he hit T-Mac. He actually, he's hot off a nickel pressure there, doesn't deal it quick, but escapes outside the defensive end and the nickel, and there's T-Mac continuing to work for him. So it's just a healthy balance of spreading the field out and then knowing when, hey, we need to protect this thing up. Joe just went over our protection plan for 3rd down, which is always a doozy going against Coach Bowles. But it's having a healthy balance of the two things for us going forward. And that always, it's been a part of really Geno too, right? So whoever the quarterback is, shorter, taller, more athletic, you need to have a healthy balance to make sure that you're keeping the defense off guard, and it does help them have throwing lanes.
Darren Gannett.
Brad, with all the different combinations of linemen you've had to use this year, do you even notice on the practice field which 5 are out there?
You know what? They cycle them through every day, and I think it's a testament to where we are with the different groups we've had to actually play with. It's a testament to how they approach practice and how we challenge our coaches to make sure that we're developing the full room. Rob does the same thing with the receivers, Pat with the tight ends. So all the guys are on, they're ready to roll because they're getting a handful of those reps, and we're trying to spell some of our older guys and practice on some of our vets and make sure that they're fresh on game day. So kudos to Joe Gilbert and Harold Goodwin, always continuing to do that to have the next guy ready.
How would you describe the value of a Yosh Nijman in that situation, the guy who started on both sides?
Yeah, athletically, he's got it. He's got what you want, and he looks the part, and he does a great job, when he's locked in, and he has a number of those reps during the week. I think that's when you see him excel the most. So it's exciting for him to get a week like this where, Icky might be down for a couple practices and Yosh gets extra reps, and he gets to put himself in those shoes of a starter and getting the majority of the reps going into the game. That being said, he's stepped in for us. Jake stepped in for us. Really across the board, all those guys, no matter how many reps they're getting, in a week, they've done a great job stepping up for us. Yosh is just as an athlete, having a good swing guy like that has been certainly invaluable for us.
And you mentioned Jake. He got in there as the eligible guy, the 6th guy last week. Of the guys who played that role, who lobbies the hardest to get a ball thrown their way or to get in the mix?
I would say not Jake. I would say Brady. Brady was pretty hard, and then I think Chandler was pretty quiet about it. I don't know if that is about confidence or if he's just a humble guy, humble hard worker. But I would definitely say Brady was always chomping at the bit to let us know that, hey, I got some catches in me if you want to throw it my way.
So Jake didn't want any part of that? Is that what you're saying?
No. He's showing, every week you work the fire drill on field goal, and he's shown, he could bring it in if you put it on his body, and he's got a big body, so that's a good, it's a good target to throw to. But I don't think he's clamoring for targets over anybody else.
Yeah, appreciate you, Brad.
Yep.
We have time for one more. Mike Kay.
Hey, Brad, I know you don't like to necessarily single guys out, but I was wondering, is there one or two young guys on the team that you think have improved maybe the most since last year who have been with you?
Yeah, I think we talked about Jalen earlier. He's done a phenomenal job of just, owning the playbook stuff so he can play fast, and that shows up. It's shown up the last couple weeks. That's definitely a huge one for us. Outside of that, I think, it's wherever the opportunities are going. I'm confident that our young guys are ready. T-Mac's done a great job in year one. I know that he wasn't here last year, but just continuing to invest. We have a huge rookie class, this year that's been involved in a bunch of different ways. I would say Jalen's definitely the biggest one that you kind of circle. It's the obvious one that's producing for us as of late.